Good day, sir. Good day, everyone. I'm Chief Bsmt. I'm a part of Group 2. And our report is all about noxious liquid substances. And what is noxious liquid substances? It is a very harmful for our sea. If we discharge it wrong, it can cause serious pollution. So let's start. Our report is Marpol Annex 2. It's all about noxious liquid substances and classification, minimizing pollution. And the purpose of Annex 2 is to regulate discharge of any noxious liquid substances. It establishes rules for the discharge of residues of NLS to the sea. So, Annex 2 establish rules for discharge because it is very important to have rules for discharging in sea of any noxious liquid substances. Marpol 7378 Annex 2 regulates a discharge of NLS, categorizing them into four categories. So, the category X, Y, Z, and other substances based on their potential harm. So, let's start with category X. Category X, substances with highly toxicity and hazardous properties. For example, cyanide compounds, chlorine compounds, phosgen, hydrogen cyanide, hydrogen sulfide. So, these substances are highly toxic, corrosive, or reactive, posing significant risk to human health, marine life, and marine environment. So, category Y. Category Y substances with moderate toxicity and hazardous properties. Example, aromatic hydrocarbons, benzene, toluene, chlorinated hydrocarbons, chloroform, carbon tetrachloride, pesticides, and lindane. Another example is heavy metal, lead, mercury, and last example is acids and bases. So what is acid? Example of acid is sulfuric acid, sodium hydroxide. So these substances are moderately toxic, corrosive, and reactive, posing significant risk to human health and marine environment. So let's go with category Z. So substances with low toxicity and hazardous properties like vegetable oils, animal fats, detergents, lubricating oils, fuel oils like diesel and gasoline. So these substances are relative, non-toxic, non-corrosive, and non-reactive, posing limited risk to human health, to marine life, and marine environment. So last is OS or other substances. And these substances are categorized as X, Y, or Z. For example, bilge water, ballast water, cooling water, wastewater from cargo operations. So other non-hazardous liquids not listed and categorized X, Y, or Z. These substances do not meet the criteria for categories X, Y, or Z, but still require special handling and disposal procedures to prevent pollution. That's why Annex 2 is established. Harmful liquid substances can cause serious pollution and sea. It is very important to have rules for discharging liquid substances.
Good day everyone. In this reporting, my part is the purpose of Annex 2. Uh, Number 1 is regulate discharge of noxious liquid substances or NLS. Uh, Annex 2 establish rules for the discharge of residues of NLS into the sea. The discharge of noxious liquid substances or NLS into the sea is regulated by various international and national laws to prevent harm to the marine environment, like International Maritime Organization or IMO provides guidelines and standards for the discharge of NLS. The International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ship or Marpol outline regulations and guidelines for the control of pollution by noxious liquid substances carried in bulk. The purpose of Annex 2 is to prevent and minimize pollution of the marine environment by harmful liquid substances. such as chemicals and hazardous materials. So these are the first is crude oil, second fuel oil, third is lubricating oil, and lastly petroleum chemicals. So here are my individual explanation if this chemical spills or discharge at sea. The first is crude oil. Crude oil spills at sea cause water pollution, harm marine life, and damage habitats. They also pose human health risks, including cancer and respiratory issues, and result in economic losses. Second is fuel oil. Fuel oil spills at sea pollute seawater, kill marine animals, and cause respiratory distress. They increase cancer risk and harm human health. The third is lubricating oil. Lubricating oil spills at sea contaminate seawater, harm marine life, and cause respiratory issues in human. They damage coral reef, mangroves, and seagrass beds. The last is petroleum chemical. Petroleum chemical spills at sea are toxic to marine life and humans, causing water pollution and habitat destruction. They increase cancer risk, harm human health, and result in economic losses also. And to prevent this, regular maintenance and contingency plans can prevent oil spills at sea, protecting the environment, human health, and economies.
So here are the other purpose of Marpol Annex 2. So it reduces pollution risk and chemical tankers. Annex 2 of the Marpol Convention establishes stringent requirements for chemical tankers transporting noxious liquid substances in bulk. These regulations or requirements aim to minimize the risk of accidental spills and operational discharge during transportation. So Annex 2 requirements is design and construction standards, cargo segregation and stowage, cargo handling and pumping, tank cleaning and gas freeing, personal training and certification, emergency preparedness and response. So this is the reason why Annex 2 is implement a stringent requirement. And here are the first reason. So the first reason is tank design. Ships must have special designs like double hulls because the double hulls of ship provides an additional layer of protection to reduce the risk of oil spill and containing leaks from the inner tank of the vessel, and it prevents direct exposure to the ocean in case of collision or grounding. Another reason is monitoring. Ongoing checks on the cargo are required. Any spills must be reported immediately because immediately monitoring of an oil spill is crucial for assessing its extent, coordinating an effective response, and minimizing environmental damage and harm to marine life. It's very important to report immediate oil spill because it can reduce the risk of having a serious pollution on our sea. So other reason is to protect marine environment from harmful substances, reduce the risk of accidental spills and operational discharges, minimize harm to aquatic life and ecosystems, safeguards human health and well-being, prevent economic losses from environmental damage, ensures compliance with international regulations, promotes, promotes responsible shipping practices, enhance safety and security at sea. As a marine students, it is very important to implement the Marpol Annex 2 so we can avoid any serious pollution. We can also protect our marine life and marine environment. So that's why we need to obey these rules in the future so we can keep protecting our sea.
Number 3. Tank cleaning and disposal of residues. Mandates specific cleaning protocols for cargo tanks that carry NLS. Here are the NLS cargo tank cleaning protocols. NLS cargo tanks require pre-cleaning preparation, including closing valves, draining, venting, and wearing PPE. 3 cleaning methods are approved: water wash, chemical cleaning with the suitable agent, and steam cleaning with low pressure steam. Post-cleaning procedures including draining, rinsing, inspecting, and drying the tank, followed by the certification. Additional requirements include documenting operation, disposing of residues according to regulation, regular tank inspection, and personnel training. These protocols comply with IMO, Marpol Annex 2, IS Tanker Safety Guide, and local and national regulation. Here are the tank cleaning and disposal of residues guidelines. Tank cleaning and disposal of residues must be done in accordance with IMO Marpol Annex 2 and local regulation. Pre-cleaning preparation including the valve closure and drainage is essential. Water wash, chemical cleaning or steam cleaning methods may be used, followed by post-cleaning inspection and certification. Residues must be separated, stored, and disposed of according to regulation. Disposal procedures and the record must be documented. Personnel must be trained on tank cleaning and disposal procedures. Regular tank inspection and maintenance records are crucial. Proper tank cleaning and disposal protect the environment, prevent pollution, and ensure regulatory compliance.
Noxious liquid substances, or NLS. These are hazardous chemicals or substances that are harmful to marine life and human health when discharged into the sea. They are transported in bulk by ships and categorized based on their potential to cause environmental damage. Noxious liquid substances, or NLS, are harmful chemicals or liquid that can pose serious risk to marine life and even human health when they enter the ocean. These substances are transported in large amounts by special ships, often as part of global trade for industries that relies on chemical, fuels, or other liquid resources. When we say noxious, we mean these substances are dangerous or toxic. If they leak or accidentally discharge into the sea, they can cause severe damage to the environment. For example, they might poison fish, harm coral reefs, or even pollute the water in a way that make it unsafe for people who rely on the ocean for food or recreation. Because of these, these noxious liquid substances are carefully regulated. They are grouped into categories based on how hazardous they are to environment. Some are very toxic, while others might be less harmful but still require controlled handling to prevent spills or contamination. Ships carrying NLS have to follow strict rules which are set internationally to reduce the chance of accidents and protect the marine ecosystem. In summary, noxious liquids substances are hazardous liquids transported in bulk that need carefully management to avoid polluting our ocean and endangering marine human life. Category X: Major hazard substances that pose a major hazard to the marine environment and human health if discharged into the sea. An example of Category X noxious liquid substances is benzene. Benzene is a chemical commonly used in producing plastic, resins, and synthetic fibers, and it also found in gasoline. If benzene is accidentally discharged into the sea, it poses a major hazard for a few reasons. First, it's toxic to marine life. It can kill fish, corals, and other organisms, even in small amounts. Benzene is also harmful to human health. It is a carcinogen, meaning it can cause cancer if humans are exposed to it. Even at low levels over time, benzene can enter the water through spills or leaks from the ships that transport it, leading to contamination of the ocean nearby shorelines. Because of these dangers, strict regulations are in place for ships transporting benzene. They must have specialized equipment to prevent leaks and follow specific protocols to handle benzene safely, reducing the risk of discharge and protecting both the environment and human health.
Category Y. Moderate hazard typically refers to the substances or situation that pose a moderate risk to health, safety, or environment. These hazards require precaution but are not immediately life-threatening. Example number 1. Chemicals. Paint thinners contain volatile organic compound, respiratory issue, and skin irritation. Proper ventilation and personal protective equipment or PPE are necessary when using them. Number 2. Biological agents. Certain bacteria like coli strains can cause illness but are generally manageable with standard hygiene practices. While they pose a risk, the likelihood of severe outcome is moderate with proper precaution. Number 3. Machinery. Forklifts are necessary for moving heavy materials in warehouse but can pose moderate hazard if not operated correctly. Training and safety measures are crucial to prevent accidents. In each case, the hazard requires specific management strategies to mitigate risk. Category Z, minor hazard, refers to situations or substances that present a low risk of harm. While precautions are still advisable, the potential for serious injury or damage is minimal. Examples. Number 1. Household cleaners. Most everyday cleaners productive like mild dish soaps can cause skin irritation if misused but pose minimal risk when used as directed. Number 2. Office equipment. Paper cutters are useful in office settings but can cause minor cuts. Users should exercise caution, but serious injuries are rare. Number 3. Non-hazardous waste. Regular paper waste, while requiring proper disposal to maintain cleanliness, does not pose significant health or environmental risk compared to the hazardous waste. In each case, awareness and basic safety measures can effectively manage the risk associated with these minor hazards. OS, other substances. Little to no hazard refer to materials or substances that pose minimal or negligibly risk to health, safety, or environment. These items generally do not require special handling or precaution. Number 1. Example. Water. Pure water is essential for life and pose little to no hazard under normal condition. While contamination can create issues, clean drinking water is safe and non-toxic. Number 2. Non-toxic craft supplies like crayons. Items like non-toxic crayons or marker are safe for use even for children, as they are designed to pose minimal health risk. Number 3. Uncontaminated soil. Regular garden soil, when free from pollutants or harmful substances, is safe for gardening and landscaping and does not pose health hazard. In this case, the substances are considered safe under typically usage condition, and do not require specific safety measures. Thank you.
Ways to minimize pollution. Number 1. Discharge limitations. Strict rules govern when and where LS can be discharged into the sea, with provisions or limits depending on the substance's hazard category. It means that discharge limitations are strict regulations that govern the release of specific substances into the sea. These rules dictate when and where such discharges are permissible, with provisions or limits imposed based on the substance's hazard category. This approach ensures that only minimal amounts of potentially harmful materials are released into the ocean, and only under controlled circumstances. Hazard categories are classifications that reflect the potential risks associated with the substance. They are based on factors like toxicity, persistence, bioaccumulation, and the potential for environmental damage. Substances with higher hazard categories face stricter discharge limitations, while those with lower hazard categories may have more lenient rules. For example, highly toxic substances like heavy metals or persistent organic pollutants or POPs may be completely prohibited from being discharged into the sea, while less hazardous substances might be allowed in limited quantities under specific conditions. Okay, next, number 2. Cargo tank cleaning requirements. Mandatory tank clean protocols including pre-wash procedures for high hazard substances ensure residues are properly managed and not released into the ocean. Why? Because cargo tank cleaning requirements are ensuring the proper management of residues within cargo tanks. These protocols aim to prevent accident release of hazardous substances into the ocean during tank cleaning operation. Pre-wash procedures are a crucial part of cargo tank cleaning. Why? Because they involve the use of specific cleaning agents and techniques to remove residual hazardous substances before the main cleaning process begins. This helps to minimize the amount of pollutants that are released into the environment during the cleaning process. Mandatory tank cleaning protocols also include requirements for the proper disposal of cleaning residues. These residues must be disposed of in a safe and environmentally responsible manner, ensuring that they do not contaminate the ocean or other sensitive ecosystems. Like this two topic means na the we required and we required to learn how to proper waste disposal and to prevent environmental damages in the ocean. So these two combination of discharge limitations and cargo tank cleaning requirements represents a multifaceted approach to minimizing pollution from hazardous substances at sea. These measures, when effectively implemented and enforced, can significantly reduce the risk of harmful materials in entering the marine environment. However, it is important to note that these strategies are only part of a larger effort to protect the ocean. Continued research, technological advancement, and international cooperation are crucial to further reduce the impact of human activities on marine ecosystems. So, let us learn and to take some manners, especially we are seafarers, to take an action to protect and clean our marine environment. That's all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Third way to minimize pollution, we have reception facilities. Ports are required to provide facilities to receive NLS residues and wash water. This prevents the discharge of harmful substances at sea. So, for example, your ship is carrying a cargo of methyl alcohol. So, after you deliver it, you now have to clean the tank. The port you arrive at has a reception facility where the ship can safely discharge the cleaning water and any chemical residues. So, the collection process goes like this. Ships carrying NLS need to clean their cargo tanks and manage residue water. So, when they reach a port, the ship can upload this contaminated water and residues into the reception facility. So, the facility collects and stores this waste separately to avoid contamination of the port's waters. So, just like what we have on the land, we have garbage trucks and specific garbage facilities. Instead of dumping waste at sea or instead dumping garbage on the land or just wherever, ports provide facilities to handle it safely on shore, preventing pollution. Last on the list, we have segregated ballast tanks. Ships carrying NLS must have separate ballast tanks to prevent contamination of ballast water with hazardous substances, reducing pollution risks. For example, a tanker ship has separate ballast tanks. Your ship has 2 tanks, one for carrying chemicals like sodium hydroxide and one for balancing the ship. This prevents the ship's ballast water from becoming contaminated with harmful residues since it is segregated from the ballast tank. So, since ballast tank never contacts oil or other cargo, it doesn't mix with pollutants. Unlike in other generations or in other systems where ballast water could carry residues from the cargo or like the excess. To make it more simple, if hindi naka-segregate ang ballast water ng ship, it can be mixed with other residues from your cargo. So, by the time na you need to balance the ship or do the ballasting, the ship will accidentally discharge harmful residues in the sea. Kasi nga magkasama lang sila. So, we have to keep in mind that keeping ballast water separate reduces the risk of accidental pollution from leftover chemicals mixing with the water used to balance the ship. So, to end our presentation, Annex 2 is essential for marine protection by strictly regulating the discharge of noxious liquid substances from chemical tankers. It classifies NLS by hazard level and enforces strict discharge, tank cleaning, and waste management protocols to prevent pollution. So, as we said, may mga specific pong level ng hazard yung NLS natin. And depending on those level or depending on sa harm nila sa environment, meron silang mga specific regulations na kailangan nating that we need to follow if ever we're carrying that certain chemical or NLS. By requiring facilities at ports and segregated ballast tanks, Annex 2 reduces the risk of environmental contamination, supporting safe and sustainable shipping. So, we discussed also earlier that there are ways to prevent or minimize the effects of the NLS on our sea. And I think kahit may mga category tayo dito na nagsasabi ng little to no damage sa environment, it is still important that we monitor or we keep in mind to follow the regulations since kahit gaano pa ka-small yung damage nito sa environment, if walang mangyayaring improvement or ibabaliwala natin yung regulations na to, in the long run, mahihirapan din yung livelihood natin, tayo ang mawawalan ng trabaho. So, that's it. That's the end of our presentation. We hope you learned something from our report. Thank you.